Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Lieutenant General Scott Spellman, the 55th Chief of Engineers and Commanding General, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and Command Sergeant Major Douglas Galek, welcome to the Change of Command ceremony for the Great Lakes and Ohio River Division. This morning, we bid farewell to our outgoing commander, Brigadier General Kimberly Peoples, and bid welcome to our incoming commander, Brigadier General Mark Quander. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our special guests today, Brigadier General Kimberly Peoples' husband, John, her son, Van, and guests, David Walter, Hilda Walter, and Joe Ragusa. We also welcome Brigadier General Quander's wife, Melanie, daughter, Grace, and guests, Major General Retired Ed Jackson and Major General Retired Rick Kaiser. Also with us this morning is Commissioner Lance Yoki from the International Joint Commission. Thank you all. We thank all of you for joining us for this very special occasion. Now, from time immemorial, armies throughout the world have conducted ceremonies to commemorate victory over an enemy, to honor their heroes, to celebrate special occasions, or to pay homage to their fallen comrades. These ceremonies add color and pageantry to military life. In the United States, the foundation of our present ceremonies was laid by the Continental Army. Today's ceremony is a reflection of procedures practiced since the dawn of our nation. The ceremony that you're about to witness includes the arrival of the official party, honors to the nation, change of command, and remarks. We hope you enjoy this historic event. On behalf of the soldiers, civilians, and families of the Great Lakes and Ohio River Division, a gift is being presented to Mr. John Peoples and their son, Van Peoples, representing the division in a tradition symbolizing the appreciation of the support and contributions made by loved ones. A gift of roses is being presented to Mrs. Melanie Quander and daughter Grace as a welcome gesture. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for our national anthem sung by LRD team member Michelle Redmond. After the national anthem, please remain standing for the invocation given by Van Peoples.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the
Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you today to ask your blessings upon the Great Lakes and Ohio River Division, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and our great nation. We ask for protection and strength for our military members and their families, both home and abroad. We thank you for both our successes and our failures, and we accept them as an opportunity to learn. We ask for your guidance for our leaders and team members, both military and civilian, in their service to this nation. Lord, please enable our actions to be honorable and just and in keeping with the Army values. And Lord, if I could make one last request, please help Army to beat Navy. In Jesus' name, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The change of command is a simple event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. Key to the ceremony is the passing of the unit's colors. These colors represent not only the lineage and honors of the unit, but also the loyalty and unity of its members. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing his responsibilities to the organization. Wherever the commander is, there also are the colors. Throughout history, commanders ensured their unit flags were carried by one of their most trusted officers. This practice was used in the United States Army until 1813, when the regulations were changed and the flag was entrusted to color sergeants or sergeants major. Division commanders select one of their most trusted civilian advisors to perform the honors. Today, Mr. Joe Savage, SES Regional Program Director, will have this honored role. By the authority of Army Regulation 600-20, paragraph 2-5, the undersigned assumes command of the Great Lakes and Ohio River Division, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, effective 30 June 2023. Signed, Brigadier General Mark C. Quander. The passing of the colors symbolizes the transfer of authority from the outgoing commander to the incoming commander. Because of the reverence each of the ceremony participants feels towards the colors, it is kept over the left breast of the possessor at all times during the transfer. The passing of the colors demonstrates to the soldiers and civilians of the organization that the former commander has passed the mantle of leadership to the new commander. With this also passes the loyalty of the workforce to their new commander. Mr. Joe Savage will pass the Great Lakes and Ohio River Division colors to the departing commander, Brigadier General Peoples, for the last time. Brigadier General Peoples will then pass the colors to Lieutenant General Spellman, thereby relinquishing her responsibility and authority. He will in turn pass the colors to the new division commander, Brigadier General Quander, charging the new commander with the same responsibility and authority. Mr. Savage will then accept the colors from Brigadier General Quander, solidifying the bond between the Corps, Army leadership, and his workforce. Ladies and gentlemen, the 55th Chief of Engineers and the Commanding General of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Lieutenant General Scott Spellman.
Thanks. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning, and welcome. Joining us on this very special occasion as we work and do our very best to recognize two amazing leaders. And I'm talking about Brigadier General Kimberly Peoples and Brigadier General Mark Quander. It's great that all of you could be with us. And before I begin my remarks, I always like just to take a brief moment and thank everyone who played a part, large or small, in setting up this ceremony, right? There's always like a reinforced squad or a small platoon behind all the cameras and microphones. They get us through all the rehearsals and get everyone here safely. So thanks to everyone who played a part, large and small, in putting this together for us. And we all know I'm looking at the faces out here in this room. I know time is a precious resource, and it just speaks volumes to the relationships these two officers and their families have formed over the years. Thank you for taking time out to be with us. I know both Kim and Mark would agree that none of us accomplish anything in this Army, certainly not anything in this world alone. So I just want to take a time to first recognize all of the teammates who have supported them along the way. So I'm looking out at the great LRD team of professionals. They're many valued customers or stakeholders, certainly our contractors. Thanks again for being with us. But I do just want to take a few more brief moments and talk about their immediate families, the ones who have supported them the most along the way. And Kim, I'm going to start with you because I know this assignment and this location was particularly special to you and your family. Kim comes from a very large family. I learned that when we did your promotion ceremony about a year ago. Her mom was one of 9 children. Her dad was one of 7. She was born in Kansas City, Missouri, but moved to Akron, Ohio in 1st grade and lived there throughout high school and then during her time at West Point. So for her, this assignment was a chance to come home, not just here to Cincinnati, but throughout the entire LRD footprint. So from Tennessee to Chicago to Detroit to Ohio and the Pittsburgh area. We'll talk about Pittsburgh in a minute. Kim's father Dave has joined us today, along with her stepmom Hilda. And Kim likes to say she's from a Brady Bunch type family. For those of you who remember that 70s sitcom, she has 1 stepbrother, 3 stepsisters, 2 blood sisters, and 2 half-sisters. And for the last 17 years, Kim has had an incredible battle buddy by her side and her husband John. And together, John has served by her side for 9 moves now, John, counting, and getting ready for a 10th. Coming here soon. John and Kim met as majors at U.S. Army Command and General Staff College, and soon after they married and deployed to Iraq with the great 4th Brigade of the 3rd ID during the surge period. John is now a retired infantry officer turned realtor, and recently they bought their first home in Alexandria, Kentucky, just down in Cincinnati, and we're going to hold on to that place for the next few years. John remains active throughout the community, volunteering his time and talents to help elementary schools, athletic programs with new uniforms and facility improvements. He also volunteers as a parent-teacher coach for the golf team. John, not bad for a retired infantry guy. John and Kim have 4 children. 3 are grown from John's previous marriage. That's Amanda, Abby, and Zach, who live in St. Paul, Minnesota, and I understand are joining us virtually. Welcome. They have 1 son together, Van, who just gave us a great invocation. Thank you, Van. He is 11 and recently attended St. Joseph Catholic School. Just a few weeks ago, he celebrated his promotion to 6th grade. So, congratulations, Van. And perhaps more importantly, I understand you did so with an excellent report card. Van's favorite subjects are math, social studies, and recess. Van, that was mine too. Especially talented in kickball. He flourished in his time here in Kentucky and was active in golf, basketball, and flag football. He joined the academic team, choir, student council, and he also took violin lessons. That's amazing. Hey, Van. Hey, Donnie, where are you? Hey, Donnie, here, give me a card. Van, I need talented people in the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. I know this is kind of shameless because I'm always recruiting, but this is my card. In 10 years from now, I want you to call the number on this card. I don't know who the chief's going to be at the time. It might be your mom, right? Just to whoever picks up the phone, tell them Spellman sent you, and he's recommended you for a high-level position in the U.S. Army. Grace, I'm coming to you next. Hey, Kim, I don't want to steal too much of your thunder, but your family has absolutely thrived in this community. It goes without saying that. And that's just a credit to you and John and the complete family approach that you have brought to this unit and to this command. And I know as you transition out, I know that you will cherish the memories you built in this community. I'll mispronounce it, Grater's Ice Cream? Big Grater's Ice Cream fan. And I had to ask you again, Skyline Chili. I'm still waiting to get my first Skyline Chili. And I know, I don't want to start any fights, but I know you're a Browns fan. And you probably didn't see eye to eye with everyone here on everything. I know, I get it, I'm a Giants fan. At least we could all agree that we could root against the Steelers. Sorry to set you up, Kim. Okay, like the People's family, the Quander family has been a constant support for Mark during their 17 military moves over the last 28 years. And Mark and Melanie, that's a lot of moving. Mark and his family experienced 3 combat deployments: Operation Enduring Freedom in 2002, and then again in 2011, and Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2007. He also had 1 humanitarian deployment to the country of Haiti, if everyone remembers that terrible and devastating earthquake back in 2010. Mark and Melanie have been married for more than 23 years and are both from military families who followed in their father's footprints. Melanie served as an Army trauma nurse and retired after 20 years of service herself as a lieutenant colonel. Her service included 2 deployments, including the push everyone remembers into Sadr City, so she practiced very good medicine in some very rough places. And since her retirement from the military, she has continued to serve our nation, including time as a senior advisor for the family readiness groups and child, youth, and school-age services. In this role, she has provided oversight for several committees, including supporting the Education Summit, which is held at Fort Hood, Texas every year, participating in specialized breakout groups to help improve special education services. And Melanie, we thank you for that continued leadership. She has 2 passions. First, she rightfully believes that our soldiers and families should receive the best possible health care. No one can argue with that. And 2, that our military children should be afforded every opportunity to realize their full potential. And it's clear, Melanie, that you are having a lasting and positive effects each and every day and everywhere you serve and places where you don't serve. So thank you for your continued selfless service to our nation as well. Now, Melanie and Mark have 1 daughter, Grace. Grace is 17 years old. This is her last summer of freedom, as she calls it, because she will be attending St. Thomas More University right here in Cincinnati, and she's going to be studying computer information systems. So if you've been around the Corps of Engineers for a short time, you know our IT systems are a mess. So Grace, don't wait 10 years. In 4 years, I want you to call the number on this card. Grace, I don't know who the chief's going to be in 4 years. It might be your dad. So call your dad and tell him to come. I would recommend it. All right, so anyway, the change of command ceremony that you all just witnessed, it is an important military tradition, and for us, it just shows that our people are never without official leadership. And when we selected Brigadier General Peoples for this command, the Chief of Staff of the Army selected her, particularly as an organization as diverse as the Great Lakes and Ohio River Division, he did so because of her proven ability to bring people together on the tough issues, and that means building teams that can help focus on learning and connecting internally and externally with all of our partners, again, to get after the really tough challenges that we face. And to her and to all of us, as you know, it's all about people. And at LRD, she walked the walk of putting people first. When it came to recruiting, she established a regional recruitment program that has resulted in an increase for more than 200 engineering professionals. She promoted the EEO program and looked for opportunities to grow a more capable and diverse workforce. She invested her time and talents toward preparing for the Black Engineer Year of Award recruiting career, which resulted in an unprecedented number of temporary job officers at the 2023 BIA conference and was recognized as a leader for the USACE enterprise. And give just a personal thank you from me on that effort, because you really did lead the way for us. When it came to preparing for contingencies, no one does it better. During this tour, our nation experienced far too many extreme weather events across the country, from flooding to drought to wildfires. And in each instance, her housing, her debris, her roofing, and her temporary power teams remained ready, even as we speak today. And in 2022, just last year, when those storms came to this footprint, LRD's footprint, in the form of flash flooding and tornadoes, she quickly shifted gears from being a supporting organization to a supported organization, leading a local response and coordinating regional support while successfully tapping into resources from across our great enterprise. And I just want to say a special thanks to those in the room today or listening, those members of our planning response teams. We really do put you in some tough situations. You're dealing with people in these communities that are impacted by storm, dealing with people that are having their worst day. And I just want to say a personal thanks for all of you to helping these people and these families and these communities get back up on their feet again. And give just a couple more. I know I'm embarrassing here, but when it came to delivering the Army Corps of Engineers' historic workload, LRD really is leading the way for us. And there's probably no more important, no more historic project ongoing at the moment in our Civil Works program than that of the Sioux Locks. And getting that project back on track and this last major multi-billion-dollar contract awarded was huge for us. And I know it took immense coordination behind the scenes for you and Mr. Savage and many, many others in Detroit District, both here in the district, here in the region, and certainly back up on Capitol Hill. But that project also needed a champion. And Kim, you were that for that project, so you performed that role brilliantly, and I want to thank you. Under her leadership, we also experienced significant progress at the Veterans Affairs Medical Centers at Canandaigua, New York, and also here in Louisville, Kentucky. She worked with Pittsburgh District and key stakeholders to secure funding for the Tar-Palmaville Flood Risk Management Feasibility Study, and also worked closely with the Louisville District team to make significant progress on the Rough River Dam Safety Modification Project to include planning, funding, and stakeholder communication strategy, a massive project in itself. She skillfully managed another challenging project. She guided the Huntsville District through the Change Control Board process to chart forward a new path with revised design and funding for the Lower Mud Flood Risk Management Project. Her leadership guided other critical projects and mega projects to include the Great Lakes Coastal Resiliency Study, the Bluestone Dam, the Kentucky Lock, the Lower Monongahela, and Montgomery Lock. She also led the way to increase capability support of the important growing Energy Resilience Conservation Investment Program across this region, really a first. Her personal leadership was critical to maturing the Ohio River Basin partnerships, and she led significant and effective engagements on the Ohio River Basin Caucus, the Ohio River Basin Alliance, and other key stakeholders, culminating in a successful Ohio River Basin inspection tour in May of 2023. You know, as I was going through these comments this morning, I said this in the awards presentation earlier today, but I just rattled off a lot of very, very complicated projects, and it probably sounds easy, but just think about it. Any one of those projects that I just listed would be significant individually for any organization, much less the Army Corps of Engineers. And Kim, we couldn't have done it without your leadership. So that list is completely impressive. And Kim, I know you like to say if you have a world-class dream team, you really, really do. But you're the team captain, and we can't thank you enough. Just an outstanding performance of not just yourself, but the 5,000 professionals here that you lead. And I have no doubt that you'll continue to shine as you transition to our Mississippi Valley Division in just a few weeks. I didn't tell Kim this story, but I will now. About a year ago, I went to the chief, Joe McConville. I said, hey, sir, I'm going to put a one-star, I'd like to put a one-star down in our Mississippi Valley Division. It's a two-star command. Spellman, what do you think? Mississippi Valley Division, this is it's big, complex, there's a lot of challenges down there. He goes, who are you thinking about? I said, sir, I'm thinking Kim Peoples. And he looked at me and said, do it. So Kim, I think that speaks volumes to your leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please give me a round of applause for our outgoing commander. So that's how the assignments happen. Ladies and gentlemen, our incoming commander and his family are equally as talented. Brigadier General Mark Quander is no stranger to the U.S. Army Engineer Regiment and certainly no stranger to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Mark has served as the 98th Commandant of the U.S. Army Engineer School at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and most recently as the 79th Commandant of Cadets at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, where he did an incredible job in shaping the future, not only the future of this regiment, but the future of our Army. And as the Commandant of Cadets, he revised cadet basic training, improved the honor system along with character development, and led the Army's prevention efforts, all after eliminating harmful behaviors in our Army and developing leaders of character. As I mentioned, Mark is also no stranger to USACE, having previously served and commanded our Transatlantic Division, where they provide design, construction, and execution and related engineering services and direct support for U.S. Central Command. He established the conditions for regional security, stability, and prosperity, and support for USACE worldwide operations. As the commander of TAD, he improved relationships with allies and partners to better deliver a very robust foreign military sales program. And TAD's program back in 2018 was about $5.2 billion, and Mark, I'm proud to report it has grown significantly since then, all because of the foundation that you have set, so thank you. And at each step along the way in his career, Mark has made a habit of making things better, which is truly a hallmark of a great leader. In Afghanistan, in 2002, just listen to the story, he figured out how to collapse caves using stereophonic demolitions. And while assigned to CJTF Mountain, Combined Joint Task Force Mountain, he directed engineers to collapse caves and deny the Taliban locations to hide. And what did he do? All engineers do. He said, "Essians, let me try to figure this out." And Mark, that's just a brilliant story. And here's another one. While serving as the Joint Chief of Staff as an intern in the Iraq Division of the J5 Strategic Plans and Policy Director, that's a lot of words for an office, Mark. He was assigned to the Iraq Assessment and Strategic Engagement Team. It was here where we truly learned and understand how to work interagency solutions to challenging international problems. And Mark, we're going to need all that talent in abundance in this job as well. So thank you again for taking on this important role, not only for the Corps of Engineers, but for our Army. So ladies and gentlemen, let me leave it there. I just want to end by saying I'm incredibly proud of both of these incredible officers. I'm incredibly proud of this Lakes and Rivers Division and all that you do each and every day, and you make it easy for the rest of us and you safe. Thanks everyone. Essians, Army strong, be all you can be.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Kimberly Peoples.
Wow, what a day. Sir, thank you for these generous remarks and for recognizing the accomplishment of this team. Thank you for your support, your confidence, and guidance at every turn, and for the once-in-a-lifetime chance for an Akron girl from St. Vincent St. Mary to return home. Thank you, General Spellman and Command Sergeant Major, for your unwavering leadership to our engineer regiment. I'd like to start today by personally recognizing and thanking those who are able to join us. If you've been in a meeting I've been in, this might take a bit. General Jackson, General Kaiser, two legends of our engineer regiment and personal mentors to many in the room. We have senior executives, Mr. Tom Smith, Mr. Joe Savage. I saw Mr. Durrett sneak in. Thank you, Mr. Durrett. Our acting business director, Ms. Steph Hall. We have stakeholders and friends of the division here today, to include Commissioner Yogi from the International Joint Commission, representing the Great Lakes Industry Partners, Mr. Jim Weekly. We have representatives from the Ohio River Basin Alliance and stakeholders. I think some of you snuck in as well. Charles Somerville, Chris Lawrence, Richard Harrison, thank you. From our local AUSA chapter, I haven't seen you yet, but Command Sergeant Major Boyd and Lieutenant Colonel Fellinger, thank you for being here today. All right, the mighty Great Lakes and Ohio River Division team of teams includes our headquarters staff here in Cincinnati, commanders, deputy district engineers, and senior leaders from all 7 of our districts: Chicago, Detroit, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Huntington, Louisville, and Nashville. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you all. The Quander family and friends, welcome. You've seen Van, my love, and John here. Also Amanda, Abby, Zach, brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, and all the family members that you met at the promotion. Just awesome. They're here with us in heart. My parents, as you heard, are here, Dad, stepmom, and Joe. Thank you all for being here. We have Kentucky family, or framily, as we would say, that are here with us today. The Fries, John, Annie, Jack, Charlie, and Emerson. The Smiths are here, Jeff, Jessica, Kylie, Leo, Larkin, and Logan. The Kramers are here, Paul, Amy, and best to your parents. Just so amazing. I want to thank you all, and many that snuck in here. Bursmas are here, Valenti's, I believe, are here. So thank you all for fighting that Taylor Swift traffic. We're honored that you're here, and hope we all get out of here. Ben said said by 3 o'clock we got to get out or parking goes to $50. Okay, to family, friends watching virtually, I want to thank you also for joining us online. Of course, I can't name you all or we'd be here for a while, so I just want to give 2 special shout outs. My cousin Eric Motes and to Connie Jastromski. We're thinking of you. Get well soon. Michelle, where'd you go? Michelle, wow, you are so talented, incredible. Thank you, Michelle, for doing that again. And Van, great job, buddy. I love you. Finally, once again, if you join me in a round of applause for the front office and all the team that put their time in putting this ceremony together. Noted, this posting in Cincinnati, Ohio has been a gift to the People's family and God's hand at work in our lives. Just 2 short years ago, we piled in the car, we took the 7-hour trip from DC to here to Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky for our next Army adventure. In pandemic conditions, we, like many others, bought a house, sight unseen. We found Van a school. And we reported to duty. This time not at an Army post like we're used to, but the 10th floor of the federal building in Cincinnati, Ohio. Personally, I was home, back to familiar ground after 27 years. Professionally, I was home, with an opportunity to serve our Army in support of both the military and civil works mission in geography that I knew and I loved. It's been a dream come true. There are a few very special things I've learned in my 2 years leading this prestigious division, which thank you, sir, for leading it so well. Number 1, this division is a football division. Yeah. Are we right? I'm gonna miss the rivalry matchups, I guarantee you that. And thanks Cincinnati, Jeff and the team. The Bengals have made it a really exciting 2 years. Even from a Browns fan. Number 2, our military and civil works missions are equally vital to America's national security. As an Army engineer, I was very familiar with the military mission at posting camps and stations worldwide. We build things, very cool things like fortifications and barracks, housing, headquarters facilities, bridges, you name it, our regiment has constructed it, dating back to 1775 and the birth of our nation. In this division, our Louisville district, with support from its sister districts, execute this mission with precision. They enable our Army and Air Force to win every day, and it's awe-inspiring. What I did not have a full appreciation of 2 years ago was the depth and breadth of the Civil Works mission and our emergency response. I do now. Every day, this division ensures safe and reliable navigation on the Great Lakes, the Ohio River, the Tennessee, the Cumberland, and the tributaries. And in doing so, we secure the supply chain. Our teams work tirelessly to mitigate flood risk across the basins and protect communities like in Portsmouth and Waverly, in eastern Kentucky, in the Kanawha, in Newport, in Covington, in Cincinnati. We protect lives and our way of life. We restore ecosystems, we enable recreation, we regulate waters, stewarding our environment. We execute emergency response, as you've heard, with our inherent authorities and in support of FEMA at a moment's notice in Makefield and in Guam, when and where Mother Nature calls. We are engineering and constructing 11 mega projects. You heard them. They're big and they're cool. The likes of the Sioux Lock and Chick, Kentucky, Upper Ohio, Charleroi, a Bluestone Dam project, incredible. We have cleanup at Niagara Falls Storage Site, SLDA, a VA hospital you heard about, military projects at Scott and Wright Pat, at Fort Knox, Fort Campbell, and studies in the Kanawha, again, in Detroit, Michigan, everywhere. We're recapitalizing our aging infrastructure, leading a historic coastal resiliency study in partnership with 8 of our Great Lakes states, signed and funded, partially funded as well. We dredge Lake Erie, I hope I have this number right, filling Paul Brown Stadium 40 stories high every year. Colby's giving me the head nod. Just incredible how much material we dredge to enable navigation. We fight against invasive species. We monitor the flow of water from Lake Superior and over Niagara Falls. Wow, this is just to name a few. LRD is mandated to execute an incredible mission for America, where winning matters. Failure is not an option. We don't take no for an answer, and it's humbling and inspiring. So number 3, the third thing I've learned, the Army and the Division's mission is a team sport. We build, we plan, we respond together. This is the A-team, this is the A-team. We'll see what I have to say in MPD. You are the A-team, 1 division, 7 districts executing across the 17-state region. Passionate stakeholders and partners, many of you are here today. And we're truly a team of teams. We work as one, transparent and selfless at every turn. Sharing in victories and workload equally. Teammates ready to support their brothers and sisters across the enterprise and the nation, equally dedicated to furthering both military and America's strategic success. So while I'm very proud of the long list of accomplishments, our tasks, projects, programs, metrics, partnerships, identified, started, continued, completed, there's so many. The Great Lakes and Ohio River Division and this region, they get in the arena every single day, giving everything you've got and more. Engineering for the public good, and we do it together. John, Ben, and I want to thank you for your loyalty, your support, and your friendship along the way. We've had a chance to say our goodbyes privately over the past several days. We will definitely treasure the memories. No, we'll never forget you. This team, this mission, this community. We'll always remember Sandy and Joanne, Deb, and heroes across the division who gave their lives freely in service to others. Thank you all once again. And Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, we'll be back. We're keeping our jersey, and that's a guarantee. All right, in closing, I want to welcome the Quanders, Mark and Melanie and Grace, to the LRD family. Melanie, it's wonderful seeing you again. It's been a while though. Thank you for continuing to give, to move, and to serve. Grace, congratulations on your recent graduation just days ago. Welcome to the region of ice cream and chili. I know you have local family and the Kramers already. Know that this Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky, you've arrived to a community as kind and as welcoming as any Army post. As witnessed by our fast friends that are here today, we look forward to keeping in touch. Never hesitate if we can help out in any way. And Mark, it was a great day when General Spellman called. He said he gave you the news of your assignment. You might have heard me in the hallway. This division is ready for your sound, bold, and strategic leadership. We've had a great transition, and that's a testament to the officer and person you are. It's a comfort passing the division colors today to such an experienced and committed friend. Congratulations. I look forward to continuing to serve alongside you and your amazing team. Please send water, but Harry, Bob, not too much. Thanks, Kyle. General Spellman, Sergeant Major, thank you again for today. Army Strong, LRD Strong, Essayons.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Mark Quander.
So we've only been in Cincinnati a few days, but it feels like it's a homecoming with all the familiar faces we see in the crowd. And so thanks for the warm welcome as we've transitioned from the Northeast here to Cincinnati. But good morning, and thanks for being here today. General Spellman, sir, thank you for your confidence in allowing me to command. And I recognize as a commander, I'm responsible for the efficiency, effectiveness, and the safety of all the people working in the Great Lakes and Ohio River Division, and I take this responsibility seriously. Sir, thank you. I'd like to acknowledge just a few folks that's here, and like I said, it is like a homecoming with all the folks in the crowd, and I'm not going to, but General Jackson, General Kaiser, we've been together for a long time over the years. Thanks for traveling. I know General Jackson, you came from Jacksonville, and General Kaiser, you came from Kansas City, so thanks for making a long trek. The Kramers are local. I've got my cousin Dave Schuler here who came down from Michigan, who surprised me this morning. And then 2 folks that have been with me for a number of years. I've got Danielle Niskowski, Captain Commanding the Dive Company, and Casey Trias, who's in the 82nd right now, serving our great regiment as company commanders. And Thanks for keeping me straight for the past couple of years as my aides, former aides, and then thanks for what you do for our regiment, and there's a number of other folks that I've served with as well. And then finally, I'd like to acknowledge my mom online who's watching, who's been my rock for a number of years. Thank you for everybody who made the ceremony possible. I know we've talked about it multiple times, but truly is remarkable putting the ceremony together. I became an engineer because I was intellectually curious about things, and I love solving problems. And that led me to the United States Military Academy, where I was a civil engineer, and some folks who developed me and mentored me along the way. And part of that pathway took me to the Memphis district as a cadet. And I did not know what the Corps of Engineers was at the time. But there was this awesome civilian employee from the Memphis district who allowed me to shadow him for 3 weeks. And he showed me what the Corps did. And my eyes became wide. And there's a lot of things that I learned in those 3 weeks. And it was an incredible experience. And the first is I learned about the importance of maintaining inland navigation waterways for our nation. Absolutely, absolutely critical and important. I learned about the amazing talent within the Corps of Engineers and what our civilian employees do for the Corps. Again, as a cadet, you didn't have that exposure with your professors, but 3 weeks in Memphis District, I got that exposure about the incredible civilian employee talent within the Corps of Engineers. And then I learned about the incredible reputation the Corps had for project delivery and the trust that the stakeholders have in the Corps. And I saw that with all the local community leaders, the regional leaders, as they would engage, and they would go to Corps employees, they saw what that castle looked like and they knew the value of the engineer castle and what it stood for. And what I saw as a cadet so many years ago is the same thing that I see today within the Great Lakes and Ohio River Division and across the Corps. Tremendous talent, mission focus, and committed to solving tough challenges for our nation. And I know right now, LRD, and Ken, you talked about it, we've got employees from the division keeping our waterways navigable, building critical infrastructure, and supporting natural disasters both at home and abroad. And this commitment from our employees and dedicated workforce that earns that reputation that people see in that castle every single day. But I also know the environment's changing and continues to become more volatile and complex, and we can't rest. We must remain vigilant amid the challenges, keeping the waterways navigable, responding to increasing numbers of natural disasters, and building reliable infrastructure for our nation's security and prosperity. And we have not and cannot do it alone. And delivery of the program now more than ever requires increasing that mindset for collaboration with our stakeholders. It's clear that the Great Lakes and Ohio River Division is composed of professionals with superior integrity, technical competence, and we'll need to continue to build upon that mindset and strengthen those important relationships within key stakeholders so that we continue providing engineering solutions for our nation's toughest challenges. Kim, thanks for a great transition. Your support to the division over the past 2 years and your support to the stakeholders that have helped along the way, and I look forward to working with you in your new role at NBD. To our national, regional, state, and local leaders and all who rely on the Corps for project delivery, I look forward to working with you, and thank you for your support. To the incredible team here at LRD, you could have dedicated your professional lives to almost anything, but you've chosen service within the Corps, and in doing so, you're shaping the future and making a difference, and I look forward to joining the team today. To my family that's been with me on this incredible journey, thank you. Building strong, Essayons.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing and singing of the... Please rise for the playing and singing of the engineer song. Army song. Words are going to be on the back of your program.
So on my collar, I've done my training for the team. You can call me an engineer soldier. The warrior spirit has been my dream. Essayons, whether in war or peace, we will wear our red, our March along, sing our song, we're the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. And it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Count up the gate and stop it strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along. Yeah!
On behalf of the Commander of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, wish to thank you for your attendance at today's Change of Command ceremony. The receiving line will be set up at the front of the room to bid farewell to the People's family. The receiving line will be set up outside the room to welcome the Quander family. Everyone is also invited to join us for cake and beverages in the room past the hallway there. This concludes today's ceremony.